everybody!
Hello!
We are doing a new review series on Cobra Kai.
Huh.
And it is the new series that basically is putting YouTube Red on the map. And they finally found their hit.
I don't know, every commercial I've ever seen is like, no. And they keep asking, do you want to upgrade to YouTube Red? Do you want to upgrade? No.
If you like Jake and Logan Paul, that's fine. It's just doesn't really interest me. And having them be the face of a premium service when I could pay the same amount for Netflix or Hulu where you have actually professional actors doing a show, as opposed to a few bloggers that became famous because a couple 13-year-olds think they're cute. It's just not the same. But this, they put real actors in here. And
great actors.
Excellent actors. They have a great team. And this is a great show that is kind of a big surprise.
Yeah, I was expecting the worst.
You watch the previews. The previews are horrible.
The commercials are like, it's going to be some hokey crap. And
Yeah.
maybe as an 80s kid, you'll watch it and say, oh, okay, there's some Easter eggs kind of thing.
Yeah, like a one-joke premise, kind of like a long, long sketch on like Jimmy Fallon or something like that, like a parody. Like, if you think it's gonna be a parody, it's not at all. It's actually a really well thought out, well written, well directed, and well acted series.
Right. And I love the twists. I love the Easter eggs, but I love how they take them and throw them on their heads. You know, they twist everything around. It's almost on the level of Stranger Things as I love the 80s platform.
I was thinking that.
Right?
The soundtrack is
It's a couple
awesome.
years later than the original. It's kind of like, it starts 84, I guess the first movie's around where the second season of Stranger Things is at, right? I think they're at 84. So, but the music is similar. The soundtrack is amazing. But yeah, we always say about Stranger Things too, soundtrack. That's what they put all their budget in that.
And it's not like in-your-face cheesy 80s.
Not at all.
It actually goes with what is actually happening in the series. It actually makes sense. It fits very nicely when you hear the music. It fits very nicely to what is being incorporated in the scene.
On some levels, the high school stuff with the kids is the best like sitcom of high school students I've seen in a very long time. Maybe ever. I mean, it's really well written, directed, and then how the adults come in, the grown-up Daniel and Johnny from the original fight, right? Their work is just phenomenal. And who knew this guy, William Zabka, could act? He's a phenomenal actor. And I hope this kind of launches like a secondary career for him, even though it's the same character. The way he plays adult Johnny,
so much more. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying the very first episode, all of a sudden, the producers talk about they really had to want to make him the protagonist. You want us to want to care about what happens to him. His character could have been so easily a throwaway, cheesy, bum character. Yeah. But there's so many levels to it. Even when he plays kind of stupid and misspoken or even Trumpian at times.
Well, yeah, a lot of Trump supporters are very pro this series because of that. And I think if that's the case, I think some of these people, like the alt-right people that are like, down with the pansy, you're missing the whole point of the series.
Right. But there's a very natural transition from I'm confident in the ways I was taught, even though they were wrong, the strong ways. Not that being strong is wrong, but that kind of strong is wrong. There's a growing transition that this is not right. But he knows it's not right. He thinks he's the good guy. Yeah. And you almost make us feel that.
I think it's because he's such a great actor that
totally.
He's the perfect anti-hero.
Right.
Because even though he's obviously very misogynistic, he's kind of ignorant, racist, zero awareness about being PC, like the whole genderization when Miguel has the whole conversation with
I think
him.
the writers have a lot of fun with that. There's a lot of great jokes.
And so you have this very two-dimensional character that we probably see him as, and even in the original movie, he's very two-dimensional, cliche bully. Right. This typical jock, popular pretty boy, has all the girls, has all the money. The typical bully, just like a typical cliche bully. And then here, you see all these different layers, all these other things behind this cliche two-dimensional character. We find out there's been some abuse in his background, some abuse in his household. The stepfather. We get a little bit of backstory.
Ed Asner is the stepfather.
Yeah.
How crazy! What a great! I mean,
that
I didn't even know he was alive still. But holy moly, it's like, oh, Sid. Okay. They walked in
and
and
we meet him in the beginning.
Asner?
Yeah,
Lou Grant.
You meet him in the beginning, and you're like, "Wait, what is this?" So,
Unbelievable.
in this video, we're going to go through episode 1 and 2, and I want to do a review video for every episode.
Right.
So we'll go on. We're going to do a quick recap and review of the first and second episode. Now, if you have YouTube Red, you can watch the whole series. You can sign up for YouTube Red and do a trial for the month. You do have to put in your credit card information if you want to watch it and like decide you want to keep it or get rid of it in a month. It's up to you. It looks like they're adding a few more series to YouTube Red to make it more attractive and lure some more people in to watch this kind of content other than just seeing Jake and Logan Paul and PewDiePie and all them. Nothing personal, guys. I love YouTubers, but I just can't.
As it goes right now, I need to cancel it before a penny goes to Jake or Logan Paul.
No.
If they come out with better programming, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down too.
So last thing I want to say, there's a lot, and I'm assuming they meant it to be the way it came off, but I have to say that even just the way the show is written, it'd be really easy for us to interpret Johnny as a bully still, as just an idiot, right. You know, even if we want to think he's the victim in the story, non-sympathetic at all. And it's 100% credit to the acting of William Zabka that he just nailed it. And I from minute one, gave a damn about this character. Oh, yeah. I almost didn't. I was like, you were forcing me to watch this series. Like, I don't want to do it.
Because I had read so much about, so much critically.
I'm so glad we did. It was so amazing.
If critics are coming on here and saying that a YouTube Red series is good, and this is the type of series everyone wants to hate because people are tired of reboots.
Right.
They don't want to see the same thing over and over again. You know, they're always ready to pan stuff like this.
And YouTube Red's track record has not been good.
No, it's not good.
You know, it's like everything looked like a terrible idea.
Yeah, everything does. And this seemed like a terrible idea, too. When I first saw this, I was like, really? They're bringing this back? Oh, my gosh. What in the world? And then, never really lies. If you go through the comment section on YouTube, if you have a bunch of really bad comments, chances are something isn't good. But if you have a bunch of good comments, and you know something's good. Mm-hmm. And everything I saw, I did not read one single comment.
Yeah.
That on all the trailers, everyone that had watched it said they were just floored with how good it was.
And you can watch these first 2 episodes without signing up for YouTube.
Right, you can watch the first 2 episodes.
Which we did, and we're like, oh, we binged the whole thing in 5 hours.
Take our money.
Yeah. In one night, we binged the whole thing. It's amazing.
I think the longest one is maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
It's basically a sitcom, a 30-minute, but it's a lot more. It plays like a 60-minute dramedy.
Right.
You know, the drama is good.
Yeah, there's really no filler. The comedy is good. I don't really see any filler.
Well, that's because the beautiful thing about being 30 and not 60.
Right.
You know there's not a wasted minute at all.
There's a couple of, silly jokes here and there, but they're kind of there for comedy purposes. I think they've actually done something very smart because they have something that the adults are going to like because this is our generation, the parents, old people's generation. Our generation will appreciate the nostalgia of it, and the younger generation can relate to the kids.
Right.
Because the kids are actually really well cast and very
the writing for the kids is better than the original.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know?
Oh my gosh! So can we just start Miguel?
Let's start.
No, Miguel is so likable, and
he's great.
Actually a lot more likable than Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel's very whiny and kind of a little bratty.
Right.
Because after this, I actually went and watched. We went and watched all 3.
Right.
Oh my god, the third one was so bad. Anyways. We
won't talk.
went
back I guess we have to.
And watch it. We have to talk about it.
We have to talk
when we get to the last episode because that brings it in. It starts off with a flashback in the original movie, the best movie. If you go to the Cobra Kai channel, they show footage that they dug up, they said.
The close-up of the foot in the face was not in the original movie.
No, because...
And that is used, and I wondered if they had refilmed it, and there are parts that his actual falling, the zoom in on Johnny being on the mat is new. But the foot to the face was actually them. It was from the original movie. And this is, you have to think about it, this is from a time that it wasn't digital. It really was like footage, film that you'd have to go through. What do we have? What can we use? What do we have?
Well, they showed that, and then the kick to the face, the crane kick. Johnny's on the ground from the kick, and then it flashes to current times, present day, and we see him on the ground, and he's kind of a loser.
The guy is just washed up. He's a deadbeat dad. He's got a horrible job cleaning gutters and pools, and from the get-go, the first time you see him come out and he meets Miguel, almost right away it's like, oh, he's kind of living in like the maintenance shed at it's not the same place, but I almost thought it was. It's this parallel to Miyagi and Daniel.
Yeah.
So it's this whole, like, turning everything on its head,
yeah.
and it's freaking brilliant.
Or he's driving it like, a Pontiac from probably the 80s.
Red Firebird, definitely an 80s Firebird.
Yeah. The music, Don't Mean Nothing But a Good Time, that's the Poison song. We see Daniel's billboard, LaRusso Auto. And him shaking his head. So you see, here's this kid that was this little wimp that kicked his ass, and here he is, pretty much a nothing.
And we don't know the whole thing that happened to be twin, but it's kind of like the classic Prince and the Pauper, but gone bad.
Yeah.
You had two guys, and Daniel was the poor kid, and because he won the karate, he had the confidence, and he took that all the way to being like this amazing owner of, a car dealership.
Well, I think it also goes to show what you are in high school. Doesn't
not at all
usually end up being where you are in real life.
Exactly.
But then he gets to the mini mart and sees Miguel is getting bullied. It doesn't seem to bother him too much until Miguel is thrown on his car.
So the whole scene is really all about Johnny just sitting there and like,
get the heck off of my car.
This sucks for this kid, but I'm eating my pizza. My life's shit. I don't need this. And it's not until the kid ends up on the car. And it's almost, and he really kind of ended up in the car because he was trying to run away and just kind of got tripped up a little bit.
Fell on the car.
Nobody really threw him on the car.
No, Miguel just ran.
He just kind of ran into the car, and it's like hey, he's like more upset about the car than the kid, and then that leads to a confrontation.
Like, leave the dork alone.
Right.
And he's like, no, and these guys. Then he gets sprayed with mace by the cops. It's funny. It's funny.
It's hilarious.
But it's not ridiculous.
No.
Like, it's just done so well. It's just so perfect.
And part of the humor is that you can't believe, I think especially somebody who knows the old movies and has seen the old movies a few times, you can't believe that in this moment you're rooting for Johnny.
No.
And they get there almost right away. Genius writing, producing, directing, acting. Kudos. I don't think I would ever have gone, except like, okay, this is a campy comedy, I'll go along with for the ride. I'm sold right away in 5 minutes. I'm like, this is amazing. Give me more.
Then we meet Sid for the first time. Sid is in Johnny's house when he comes home.
Stepfather.
I guess his nurse, his stepfather, offers to buy him out. We don't know the whole story there, but we do meet him for the first time. Not quite sure. Maybe his mother passed away or left. I guess passed away because he said he'd always take care. He promised his mother he'd always take care of him. So
kids might know Ed Asner. I think he played Santa in the movie Elf. So Ed Asner was in the X-Files. He played Maurice. He was with Lily Tomlin in a very funny Christmas episode as Ghost.
Ghost Who Sold Christmas.
Yeah.
Johnny obviously has a drinking problem. We see him drinking and driving. He drives to the old arena where the tournament takes place, and he gets out, and as he's driving, all these memories are coming to his head. You see all these flashbacks to the original movie, which is good if you haven't seen the movie in a while, because I hadn't seen it in a long time when I watched these flashbacks, so it's very nostalgic. He's thinking about what happened, and you're thinking about, watching this music. Fond memories.
Well, I also think someone who's never seen the movies, they give you just enough that you don't necessarily need to go back and see the movie.
Like a lot of the kids watching probably haven't seen the original movie.
In fact, I would recommend don't watch the movies first if you haven't.
No.
I think if you go watch the movie now as a person who's not of the 80s, you might be turned off. Watch the series, and I think you can go back and watch the first two movies and enjoy the first one, at least. That really ties into this. The third one ties into this more than the second, even though the third one is
well, it goes to the point where it actually flashes to the second movie, which is actually picks up exactly where the first movie ends, in the parking lot with Kreese, who has him in the death headlock. Yeah, you would be in jail if you were a karate teacher and you had a student, an underage child, in your headlock. I think you'd be your career would be over.
Well, it always kills me about stuff that happens today. In the 80s, we had a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows dealing with this kind of abusive bullying.
Right.
Almost every 80s movie, comedy especially, it's some kind of bullied kid.
We see the reminiscing of this incident happen, and it's interrupted by girls smashing his car.
Valley Girls with Daddy's car.
Valley Girls with Daddy, and we learn
Smash
later.
his. Yeah.
Actually, one of them is Daniel's daughter.
Not driving, in the back seat.
They smash his car. He's trying to get them to stop. Then they take off.
And then they tow his car to Danny LaRusso's shop.
Yes.
And he's like, no, where are you going? He didn't realize where they were going until he saw the card on the receipt. And he goes to try to get his car. Says, I'm not having my car fixed here.
Well, no, though, not just that, when he tries to go in, he tries to put the hood on. He's
trying to hide.
Want to be seen by Daniel.
No.
He obviously does not want to see
He
this
does
guy.
not want this moment in his life.
I know that moment when you do not want to see somebody that you dealt with in high school. I know that moment very well, which is exactly why I've never wanted to go to any of my high school reunions, because I want to avoid, there's certain people that you have seen in high school that you never want to see again. So at the dealership, he tries to make it out, but Daniel sees him, somehow recognizes him from the back of the head. It's all about, hey, how you doing? What's up? Hi, you know. He's clearly the last.
Because he remembers it in a good way. Why? He's like, oh, we could be friends.
You know, I beat your ass.
Says, oh, is this the guy you kicked his ass? And, well, technically, I kicked his face, right? And it's oh, that's the Daniel we're gonna see. But even that is kind of like just letting us know everything is not hunky dory with this guy.
No.
But it's not. There's nothing two-dimensional about this.
I
What's
thought
great
they were going to actually make
about
Daniel into the bully, but I'm so glad they didn't.
Yeah,
because they kind of hinted to that a little bit, and I thought that would have really taken it away, where it would have been like, oh, I think it would have ruined it.
Like, it almost as if he's going to become like the mean girl victim turned bully.
Right.
And it doesn't go there. Some of the kids go there a little bit.
It wasn't.
You're basically setting up a story where both guys think they were the victim.
Right.
And that's kind of the ultimate premise going into the rest of the season. It's two guys that both think they are the ones who got the short end of the stick.
Even Johnny says it was an illegal kick.
Right, they're saying that Daniel's kick was illegal because it was to the face.
It was kick to the face.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that at the time. Although I think that comes out.
Oh, you moved in on my girl.
Right.
It wasn't your girl. You know, there's this little bit of passive aggressive conversation that happens before that. But he does ultimately. He offers to fix his car for free.
He's trying to be a good guy.
He's trying to be a good guy, but obviously.
And I think in general, he's a good guy by normal standards. You
know, and he mentions that the problem was Cobra Kai, and this plants the seed in Johnny's head. Cobra Kai was not the problem, and we need Cobra Kai. Yeah. Now, I think, as far as Johnny goes, I think that whole mindset, the more aggressive mindset, I think there's a happy medium in between there somewhere that can be, you can be on the offensive, but also be on the defensive at the same time. I think what he tries to say about this generation of being a little too sensitive or a little bit too conscious about not being, you know, when I was your age, we didn't wear seatbelts in the back seat, and, you know, we didn't have peanut allergies, and asthma, that's what he does with Miguel is like an inhaler just throws. You don't have asthma anymore.
Yeah, you don't have asthma here. You don't have
asthma. Take your peanut allergies elsewhere.
That's right. Those are real things.
We didn't have we didn't have peanut tables.
Right.
We didn't have, everyone had peanut butter in their lunches, and if you were allergic, I don't remember anyone being allergic, but.
No, I love it. You know, there's he's very non-PC.
To the extreme.
But I think everyone that hates the PC police will love this character.
Love it. But at the same time.
Like somewhere in the middle is the where to be.
In the middle is the where to
They're
be.
both wrong.
But it's still funny to make fun of it.
Yeah.
It's still funny to
make
fun. Even if you are a little bit of what they call SJW, social justice warrior, you can still laugh at it. Like, I'm a pretty liberal person, and I'm able to laugh at all this stuff.
Yeah, but the people that take it to the extreme, that make it to the point where they coddle their kid to the point where that kid can't even handle life. Let them get sick. Yeah. Let them get hurt, because that's how you learn.
Right.
And then you grow up to be somebody who can't deal with life.
Anything, right?
Yeah.
You get the trophy generation, the millennial generation. Well, you came in last place, but we're going to give you a trophy for effort. It's like, oh, what is that?
Everybody's honorable mention. There's no losers.
There's no losers.
Yeah.
You lose, you're a winner even for that.
Which means you can't get good at anything because you need some competition.
There's someone to tell you when you suck at something. You need to realize that you suck.
And when you fall on your face, it's a learning process. Yeah. If you never fail and fall on your face, how do you learn? You might get really book smart, right? You can memorize all those things.
Yeah.
But it takes that falling on your face to learn how to use all that information.
Yeah, and I think it really, it just like, you don't expect the series to bring all this stuff.
Right.
To bring all these topics.
It's so
to the forefront. You're
deep.
just like, crap, man.
Yeah.
This is like, what? I did not expect for this.
There's no garbage. There's no BS.
No, it is what it is.
And every even like minutia of a hokey moment is brief and serves the story.
It's there and it's gone.
There's not a wasted moment in this story.
And what happens essentially is Johnny decides to go back to Miguel, and because Miguel had asked him,
right,
will you teach me these moves? And he said, no, go away. But he decides at this point to go back and teach him.
That's the one time in his life where he was strong.
Yeah, he wants to go back. So he goes back to Miguel, and he decides that he's going to actually teach him the karate and teach him everything.
And it's almost like any football coach or football player going back to coach high school football.
Right.
You know, it's that classic story. But again, better done than ever, better written.
It's really good.
I'm amazed.
And that's the end of that episode, the first episode.
Hey guys, so we're already up to 20 minutes and we're only in part 1. So what I'm going to do is upload a separate video for episode 2 as part 2 of this video.